Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good.
Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good.
Maybe sin isn't what we thought. Maybe we're not broken. Maybe God sees us as already good. Because in the Bible, God said it was good after he created us. So what if there is no hell? And what if heaven is right now?
None of those sermons are real. Not a single word spoken in those videos are by an actual human. This is where we are in 2025, y'all. I want to tell you the shocking story of how I found these clips, because I promise you, not a single person watching this video is prepared for the level of deception that we are about to encounter in the next 5 to 10 years. But first, I want to take you to the beginning. I need to tell y'all how this all started. I was on TikTok and I saw a video of a woman talking about how she used ChatGPT to do something unthinkable. Take a listen.
My mind has been blown, y'all. Okay, listen. Now, we use ChatGPT for everything, so I thought I'd try this. I was like, yeah, we'll see. I recorded myself praying in tongues, audio recording. And then I uploaded it to ChatGPT and asked Chat to interpret it. And at first, I was like, yeah, whatever. Chat specifically asked me, what was this? Was this a prayer? Was this? I didn't even read everything. And when I think I saw prayer, and I was like, yeah, it's a prayer. And because Chat said, I want to know how to go about interpreting this. So I uploaded the audio and Chat interpreted it. As I was reading it, first I was just like, yeah, you're just going to say something. But it was very, very specific. It was definitely interpreting what was on my heart in the prayer. And nobody could have known that. Y'all, try it. My mind is blown. Like, I know we're using ChatGPT for everything. My mind is blown. I'm like, I wish I had done that sooner, because I had been praying for a while. And then when I stopped, I was just like, I wonder what that was all about. And I went back and I recorded and I just started praying again. So I don't know what I missed, but try it. Just try it.
She said that ChatGPT was able to interpret the prayer that was on her heart. Not only is that wrong, it's flat out deceptive and unbiblical. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Elon Musk was one of the co-founders of OpenAI. Now, OpenAI is the company that created ChatGPT. Elon Musk recruited a man by the name of Ilya. Ilya is one of the most iconic AI engineers in the entire industry. You guys know Sam Altman, right? The current CEO of OpenAI. The reason why I say current is because it's very interesting. Sam Altman was fired from OpenAI. And at the time, nobody really knew why he was fired. The only thing that was said was that there was some misleading communication by Sam Altman, which led to him being fired. So people were speculating that he lied about something and, he was disingenuous about something, and therefore he was fired. Now, this move was largely led by Ilya. Now, Ilya is the individual who is credited with a lot of the building of the actual ChatGPT model as we know today, right? And somehow, after Sam Altman was fired, he was rehired in just 5 days. A lot of people don't know this story. This happened in 2023. So he was fired and then he was rehired in just 5 days. But the individual who was credited with leading the initiative to fire Sam Altman, Ilya, after all this took place, he suddenly just kind of fell off the map. Nobody really heard anything about him. And there was this huge meme that was going around the AI industry that said, "What did Ilya see?" Because there was speculation that Ilya saw something very, very dark that led him to blow the whistle and attempt to remove the CEO because he did not like the direction that Sam Altman was taking the company. Elon Musk was asked about this, and he gave a very interesting response. And I want you to take a listen to it.
Altman get ousted
Yeah.
by somebody you know, Ilya. And Ilya was a friend of yours.
Yes.
You brought him there. Your relationship with Larry Page effectively broke down over you recruiting him away, I think.
That's correct. That was the fight. Larry refused to be friends with me after I recruited Ilya.
And so here's Ilya apparently saying something is very wrong.
I think we should be concerned about this because I think Ilya actually has a strong moral compass. He thinks about, he really sweats it over questions of what is right. And if Ilya felt strongly enough to want to, fire Sam, well, I think the world should know what was that reason.
Have you talked to him?
I've reached out, but he doesn't want to talk to anyone.
Have you talked to other people behind the scenes as this is all happening?
I've talked to a lot of people. I've not found anyone who knows why. Have you?
I think we are all still trying to find out.
I mean, look, one of two things is either it was a serious thing and we should know what it is, or it was not a serious thing and then the board should resign.
What do you think of Sam Altman?
I have mixed feelings about Sam. I do, the ring of power, can corrupt. And this is the ring of power. So, I don't know. I want to know why Ilya felt so strongly as to fire Sam. This sounds like a serious thing. I don't think it was trivial. And I'm quite concerned that there's some, dangerous element of AI that they've created.
Discovered?
Yes.
You think they've discovered something?
That'll be my guess.
So that'll be my guess. I think they discovered something dangerous, and the world ought to know what that was. Now, just a couple days ago, we got a report that came out that is absolutely crazy. I don't see hardly anybody talking about it. But Ilya, OpenAI ex-chief scientist, he said that he planned for a doomsday bunker for the day when machines became smarter than man. And specifically what he said was that we're definitely going to build a bunker before we release AGI. This is what Ilya told his team in 2023, months before he would ultimately leave the company. Now, real quick, what is AGI? Just so we're all on the same page. There's a difference. All artificial intelligence is not the same, right? You have ANI, which is designed to perform specific tasks. And this is what we're dealing with right now. A lot of what we see right now in the AI models that we are dealing with, like ChatGPT, for example, these are designed to perform specific tasks. But contrary to popular belief, a model like ChatGPT is not smarter than humans. It's not smarter than humans. But we are on track to get to that point where we experience AGI, which is artificial general intelligence. This is where the AI can behave in a human-like way across all tasks. So this is where it becomes just as smart as humans. In some cases, it might even be smarter than some humans. And then the ultimate end goal that these companies are racing toward is ASI, which is artificial superintelligence. This is where it becomes smarter than humans. This is the stuff of sci-fi. Ilya, the man who created ChatGPT, he left OpenAI 3 months prior. He said that we're definitely going to build a bunker before we release AGI. I think the thing that was even more interesting, what he said, is that building AGI will bring about a rapture. You're hearing that correctly. Ilya said that building AGI will bring about a rapture. He said there's a group of people, Ilya, or the article says, there's a group of people, Ilya being one of them, who believe that building AGI will bring about a rapture. And not just a metaphorical rapture. He's talking about a literal rapture. Now, Ilya left the company. He left OpenAI. But remember, he tried to fire Sam Altman. That didn't work. He came back. Sam Altman came back. Ilya goes dark. And then suddenly he pops up again. And he says, the reason why I left is because they're working towards something that is very, very dark. And the original creator of ChatGPT does not trust the current intentions of the CEO, Sam Altman, in his desired use case for this potential dark technology that is being developed, that is going to eventually be here one day, that we're all going to experience, right? I want to show you something. You remember there was a story that came out of a church service that was completely led by AI in Germany. I want to play that clip for you guys.
In the house of God, everyone is welcome with open arms, even robots. Like it or loathe it, ChatGPT is part of society and now part of the congregation. As Germany's churches experience a drop in numbers of pastors, this church in the Bavarian town of Fürth has the answer by using artificial intelligence. During service, this avatar preached to more than 300 people for Mass. But can we really commune with robots?
I was pleasantly surprised at how well it worked. But one thing I definitely missed, of course, was simply emotionality.
It was exciting, interesting, but for me, it was too monotonous. The avatar spoke too quickly. Sometimes you couldn't really think in your head during the service. It wasn't personal enough.
So, in this church, worshippers are no longer inspired by the words of a preacher. And while some may say this is sacrilegious, the theologian behind it insists this is the future of worship.
I would say 98% comes from the machine, generally speaking. And what we're going to see is an effort of us as human beings staying out of the church service.
The 40-minute service saw the bot writing the sermon, prayers, and even accompanying music. Intrigued and filled with anticipation, churchgoers queued for an hour to get front pew seats and find out just how it works.
I told the artificial intelligence, we are at the church congress, you are a preacher. And the motto is, now is the time. What would a church service look like? And then it spits out a rough framework first. And then you say, okay, now why don't you do this introduction? And then she writes this introduction. And that goes on and on. You end up with a pretty solid church service, I would say.
Whether you're a believer or not, the use of AI arguably brings services into the 21st century, allowing them to become more accessible and inclusive. But there's certainly no doubt it takes practice what you preach to a whole new level. Shadi Edwards-Dashley, TRT World.
Interesting. Would you believe me if I told you that I generated these clips in about 10 minutes? It literally took about 10 minutes for me to generate these clips. That's it. A simple prompt, just a simple sentence led to these clips. And this is coming from somebody who, I'm not a prompt engineer. I don't have very much experience, if any experience, working with these AIs in this manner. But I was able to generate highly realistic videos of seemingly real preachers who are delivering some very deceptive and dangerous biblical-based teaching, right? Now, just imagine somebody who is more equipped and somebody who is better at doing this than myself. And just imagine how they would be able to manipulate this tool to make it do whatever they want it to do, to fit whatever agenda of deception that they want to achieve. Now, this is a tool that just came out, that Google actually just created, and it's called VO. Now, this is, as they describe it, a state-of-the-art video generation model, to where you can literally put any words that you want to put into it, and it will generate full videos, to the point where you can make full feature-length films with this tool. And you can also use it for much more nefarious things. Now, obviously, you got to pay money for this. This is not free. But as I said before, this is 2025. Imagine where this type of technology is going to be in 5 years. If we're already being deceived into thinking that ChatGPT is interpreting your tongues, imagine what's going to happen in 5 years. Imagine what's going to happen in 10 years. Imagine what's going to happen in 20 years. Imagine the type of world that we are going to be living in. 2 Timothy 4. Preach the word. I charge you in the presence of God and of Jesus Christ, who is to judge the living and the dead, and by the appearing of his kingdom. Preach the word. Be ready in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with complete patience and teaching. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but having itching ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths. There's a time that's going to come, and I think we're already living in that time, where we're not going to be looking for a message. We're going to be looking for a massage. We're going to be looking to feel good. We're not going to be looking for sound preaching. We're going to be looking for anything that we can latch on to that gives us a sense of spirituality through Jesus Christ, while also allowing us to maintain our sinful desires that we so desperately seem to want to cling on to. And when I say we, I mean the world. But also, the Bible speaks of a time of a great falling away. The Bible specifically speaks of a time of a great falling away. And I think that many people who say that they're believers are going to be a part of that crowd that falls away. Now, I could be wrong based on my interpretation of the scriptures, and I'm open to correction, but I think the falling away that is spoken of, that happens before the return of Jesus, I think that's going to be people who claim to be believers who are falling into false teaching, who are falling into this level of deception that is almost indistinguishable, that in the process, they end up falling away from the biblical truth that is found in the Bible. And like I said, this is 2025 and people are already being deceived. Imagine 5, 10, 15, 20 years, what that level of deception is going to look like.